Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into the source material for a true crime story, but, well, not the kind you're probably used to. We're talking about deception, theft, and downright manipulation, completely out in the wild. You know, nature usually gets painted as this serene, beautiful thing, right? But as this material reveals, it's actually crawling with brilliant, calculated hustlers who survive purely by pulling off the ultimate cons.
I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you think humans are the ultimate scammers? I mean, we usually think of identity theft, elaborate con jobs, and organized crime as strictly human inventions. White-collar criminals, hackers, fraudsters, the whole shebang. But what if I told you that out in the wild, survival tactics have evolved to completely rival our most sophisticated schemes?
Okay, let's dive into this, because honestly, think again. Nature truly does it better. The data we're unpacking today outlines 3 unbelievable animal scammers that are frankly way better at lying than we are. We're going to look at an incredible escalation. It's a path that literally starts with petty theft and identity fraud, moves into fatal predatory romance scams, and ultimately ends in a highly organized underwater crime syndicate. It's wild. Let's look at exactly how they pull it off.
Section 1. The Art of the Scam. Survival via Deception.
Moving to Section 2. The Avian Identity Thief, the drongo bird.
All right, meet our first suspect. The drongo bird is an absolute master of acoustic identity fraud, and it uses this exact highly calculated step-by-step method. First, it spends all day just watching meerkats dig for food. It's incredibly observant. Then it just waits patiently for the exact second a meerkat actually finds something tasty. Now, step 3 is where the real genius kicks in. The bird doesn't just make some random scary noise. No, it perfectly mimics the exact danger warning sound of that specific meerkat. This acoustic forgery causes absolute, complete panic. The meerkat bolts, drops its hard-earned meal in terror, and finally, step 4, the drongo just sweeps right down and enjoys a free lunch. I mean, it is a flawless, calculated mugging.
But, well, here's the problem for our feathered thief. Target 1, the meerkats, they catch on fast. If you run the exact same scam on them over and over, they get suspicious and just stop dropping their food. So what does the highly adoptable drongo do? It simply pivots. It switches its whole operation over to target 2, mongooses. It starts tricking them by using their specific alarm calls instead. And the really amazing part is, once the mongooses start getting suspicious, the bird just casually moves on to yet another target.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the deception. Over 50. The drongo bird actually knows more than 50 different alarm calls. It has literally built this massive database of stolen acoustic identities. And the key to its success is that it constantly rotates them. It never uses the exact same alarm call long enough to get caught. It's basically a one-bird fraud department.
Section 3. The Fatal Romance Scammer, the Photuris firefly.
Now, if the drongo bird is a petty thief, our next suspect elevates the crime to something much, much darker. A romance scam in the Nature Edition is deadly. So here's the background. Every firefly species has its own specific flashing rhythm, right? It acts like a secret code used to find a mate of the exact same species in the dark. But the female Photuris firefly completely weaponizes this entire system. She actively watches the flashes of other species, decodes them, and then mimics them. When a male of another species sends out his hopeful signal into the night, she flashes his exact secret code right back. She is luring him in, but definitely not for love. She's luring him in for dinner.
Just look at the grim disparity of this transaction. Based on that perfect secret code he just received, the male's expectation is that he's happily found a willing mate. But the tragic reality? It's brutal efficiency. He's getting eaten the exact second he lands, no hesitation whatsoever. She expertly manipulates his deepest biological drive just to score an easy meal.
Which brings us to Section 4. The Undersea Crime Syndicate, the Grouper and the Octopus.
We've covered the lone wolves of the animal underworld, but now, welcome to organized crime. So the crucial point is how perfectly choreographed this cross-species 3-step heist truly is. Step 1 begins when the coral grouper spots prey hiding deep inside the rocks, completely out of its reach. The grouper literally points its head down and does this little shimmy to signal its partner. Step 2, the octopus answers the call. With its super flexible body, the octopus crawls right into those tight rocks to flush the hiding fish out. And step 3, the grouper is waiting right there, actively blocking the exit so the prey absolutely cannot escape. It's an incredibly effective syndicate.
Now usually, once the hunt is successfully done, these 2 criminal partners will share the meal.
But look at this quote straight from our source data. That is until one of them decides to eat the whole thing by themselves. Yes, the ultimate criminal double cross. Even in nature's most sophisticated syndicates, sometimes the temptation of the loot is just way too great, and one partner will snatch the entire meal, completely betraying the other. Truly, there is no honor among thieves. Section 5. Nature's Master Manipulators. Looking at the big picture.
Reviewing this incredible criminal lineup, it is honestly amazing how completely these animals parallel human deception. We started with the drongo bird, out there executing petty theft and identity fraud across more than 50 different species alarm calls. Then, we looked at the fatal predatory romance scams of the Photuris firefly, manipulating secret mating codes just for a meal. And finally, we witnessed syndicate heists and the classic double cross between the grouper and the octopus. You know, these aren't just flukes, these are highly successful evolutionary survival strategies. Nature doesn't just play fair, it plays to win.
So I'm gonna leave you with this final thought to take away. Next time you get a suspicious spam text on your phone, ask yourself, is it really a hacker or just a really smart bird? Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this absolutely fascinating source material. Keep your eyes peeled, because the greatest tricksters might just be right outside your window. Catch you next time.